Assalamu alaikum students, this is Umaira Said and today we are going to discuss the very technical topic of business communication, and that is the letter writing. We will discuss in today's agenda that what is the letter, what are the parts of the letter, and we will discuss all those parts one by one. Then I have lined up to discuss the invitation letter and the regret letter. So pick out your pencil and the paper so that you may note down some important points. So students, a correspondence is very important, either oral or the written, and the reader of the letter not only focus on the content, but the form and the appearance as well. So now you will be very astonished to know, and you will be so confused and perplexed that why I am saying that the form and the appearance matters a lot. Like what you are writing, that matters as well, but what is the writing style, what is the font, what are the whatever the facts and the figures you are giving, is it correct, and on which type of the paper you are writing. Many of the companies have assigned like A2, A4 paper on which you may send your request or your applications or your official letter. So the normal or the school paper, school books pages are not allowed to write for the official conversation and the correspondence. So that is why the letter, form and the appearance matters a lot. Like what kind of an envelope you are using, either you are using your company's envelope or the rough envelope or the Pakistan Post envelope. So it shows that how much you are formal and how much you are so much vigilant in sending the informal messages. So these things matters a lot while for the communication. Later on, since your childhood, in your schools and the colleges, you have been practicing so many types of letter writing. Letter to the father, mother, brother about to abstain from smoking, for increasing your monthly dues, for submitting your hostel dues, for your fees and for your result. These are the routine letters. The letter to the editors, the letter to the higher officials, these are the special letters. And what are the business letters? The business letters are entirely different from all these specials and all these routine letters, because the format, the content should be very much peculiar, and we must keep an eye over writing such formal content. Everything will be judged with a single word you write on the paper. So that is why the business letters based on sales letter, sales promotions letter, the invitation letter, the official regret letters, and so many other letters, and we will discuss one by one in the next of the session. Like in the present session, invitation and the regret, and in the later session the sales and the sales promotion letters and all these things, like to order something, to cancelling your order, and to re-cancel your order or resubmit your order. All these are said to be the business letters. So dear students, when I talk about the letter, the format of an official letter is like this. Suppose I have like chalk out a very rough sketch here. When you will write an official letter, it must be on the official letterhead pad. Like you may not write on a plain paper, it would have no authenticity, it will be it will not have a good impression, it will not be accepted by. So every official document must be on the company's letterhead. So what is letterhead? When you visit the doctor, you see that he give you the prescription on a page which have a kind of a letterhead. Here is the particular monogram of the doctors or the hospital where he is working. Here the name of the doctor along with his all the credentials and the degrees he has, and here it has mentioned his timing. So this is the letterhead. Like my institute has its own letterhead, and every of the company would have its own letterhead. So when you will write an official letter, it would be on company's letterhead. The letterhead based and letterhead consist of the company's monogram, the company's address, the available telephone number, the cell phone number, and the appropriate and the company's email address. That will be the company's letterhead. Here comes the date. The mentioning of the date is very important, and many of the students sometimes quote a very wrong date. Like the methodology of the writing, the date is very important. What is the unofficial and the very routine kind of a date is, suppose if we write you should avoid writing the date like this, or writing the date like this, it will be a big no. What is the most appropriate style of writing the date is July 15, 2020 or 15th July, 2020. These two are the appropriate official submitted dates. So that's why you have to mention this type of the date here. Now comes the inside address. Inside address means the company to whom you are writing. In the letterhead, you would have your address, and inside address means that you are writing to a company and you are sending a message to a company. So here it will be written. Subject. For which purpose you are writing? Either you are inviting, you are regretting, you are cancelling, you are ordering, you are like selling something, or there are so many other aspects which you may write. So subject is important. Many of the companies say that it is optional or it can be omitted, but I think that the subject is important because it carries the gist of whole of the content written on one or the two pages. Then comes the salutation. So there is one more thing which I did not mention here, is the attention line. So what this attention line means? Maybe or suppose when you are writing to a company, that company is head by 2 or the 3 directors or 2 or the 3 co-chairmen or the directors. So if you want to call to a particular person, so attention line means for Sir XYZ and for Mr. James, Mr. Burgundy, it means that you are particularly draw attention of this director rather than all of the director. But if there will be no attention line, it means that this letter have the invitation or some kind of an information for all the management or for all the top people who are running this institute. So it can be omitted and it can be avoided as well. Here comes the salutation. If you don't know that either here is the chairman is a if there is a ma'am or a sir here, so you may write the option like dear sir, slash and madam, comma. The comma is very important. Then after the comma, you will start writing this. The introductory paragraph will not be the routine letters like how are you or what's doing, what's up, what's happening. So it will be very official, writing on the behalf, like the chairman or the heads will not write the letter, they do not compose anything, their secretary or the HR or the person who is a resource person, he used to write the letter. So he would say that I am writing on the behalf of this and this, that you are invited on the annual ceremony or the annual dinner, and all the sporting details will be mentioned here. Then the sport and the conclusion should be very formally, that anticipated for you or promptly response for your availability. And here comes the ending notes. The end notes are very important. It must not be written down like your lovingly, your dearly. No, the big no, the big no. Here you may write yours sincerely, yours truly, cordially yours, very truly yours. So that will be mentioned here. So if you have another invitation letter, so you may attach by writing and heading enclosure here that a page is attached with this invitation letter. So this will be a very rough plan which I have sketched out for you to tell you that how you may write an official letter. So now we discuss the invitation letter. Invitation is very common. We may invite our family, relatives, friends, our colleagues to some birthdays, to dinners and the lunches. Even nowadays, and the wedding ceremonies, you may get the wedding cards as well. It is a kind of invitation as well. And you may see that on that invitation card, they have written all the important details on it, like when will be the food will be served, when there will be the ceremony of departure of Bharat, and when there will be arrival, and everything is mentioned over there. So, all the matrimonial ceremonies have been lined up by giving a appropriate time over there. So, this kind of an invitation is considered to be the good, because it carries all the information. As far as the business invitation is concerned, it should also contain all the 5 W's, 1 H, and all the appropriate information which is necessary for the other party to know, because you are inviting on the behalf of a company, not on the behalf of a single person. So, it will be your company's dignity will be at stake when you send some kind of an invitation to the head or to the other company's management. Invitation letter. Now, discuss that the tone of the invitation letter, like business invitation letter, the tone of the invitation letter should have a 3 P's, like it should be the polite, persuading, and the protocol. You have to give the protocol not physically, but in the verbally as not like with the written as well. How? Like, dear sir, that it will be a matter of great dignity if you will participate, if you will be the part of our organization annual dinner, or we invite you on the behalf of this company, so that you may come and address to the people and tell us the secrets of your company's success, your success. It will be served with the dinner. We would like you to have the chair, the whole of the meeting. So, these are the protocol. Persuade means that it must be convincing letter, like your participation is very necessary, like everything will be incomplete if you will not attend this, and the student would be very polite, humble, like you are inviting something. You may not write this that either you come or not, it does not matter. No, a big no. You have to be very polite while giving an invitation to the person, either you like him or not, or if you have some business rivalry as well, but your tone should be very much polite. 5 W's. In 7 C's in communication, we discuss that your invitation must have the 5 W's. If you are inviting someone, you must tell him that who, what, when, where, and why you are arranging this seminar, conference, dinner, or lunch, or the kind of meeting, and all the purposes must be mentioned here. And a good invitation letter carries all this information. Dress codes. Many of the companies used to follow some kind of an dress code, and if you are, then do write down in a very bold italic words that it is the dress code. So, come with the dinner jackets or the formal suits, or wearing a simple shalwar kameez. No, it depends upon the nature of the gathering. So, it should be mentioned there. Instructions, if there is a peculiar and the special instruction, do mention, like you cannot bring the children with you, you cannot bring the food items with you, or nowadays it is generally mentioned that put a mask, like without mask there will be no service. It is written outside everywhere that no mask, no service. So, you may write down like do come with your gloves in your hand and put on the mask, so that you will be entertained. So, you may give the special instruction, like the women are not allowed, you may not come with your company, you cannot carry your children with you, or the so parking is not available. So, it depends upon you that where you have to park your car. So, these are the special instructions. The agenda of the function, the gathering, lunch, and the dinner, definitely nobody comes only to take the food. There must be sub agenda, and there is always a purpose of meeting, and it should be necessary for the invitee or the person who is inviting the rest of the people, that he must write some agenda in the invitation letter. So, this is a simple invitation letter. What is the regret letter? Regret letter to mean to feel sorry for. Like many of you feel sorry on so many things, and you do not sometimes dare to express your feelings or regret to someone's failure, someone's loss, or someone if not getting the opportunity, or if someone has not fulfilled the tender, if someone has lost some kind of a game, not a gambling game, but if he has lost some kind of a life race, you cannot feel regret. And regret letter is basically a bad news, and the bad news nowadays cannot be abruptly tell to another person, because it would have a cardiac arrest to him and he would go some in kind of a coma. So many of those who have designed the writing and the bad news, they suggest that the bad news must be very polite, like you may not tell any person by calling like you have lost the CS6 exam, and definitely he will be dumb and he may like lost his senses. So it may be said like, yes dear, last year you like appeared in CSS exams, you are very brilliant, but I am afraid to inform you that you have lost this time, but definitely next year you will get through this, because you are so enthusiastic, you are so intelligent, and you have an ability to hit the mark. So the bad news must be given in a form or a very polite way, rather than hitting the nail like, yes, you are the fail in CSX exam, and it would put a very bad impact on the next person. The next is the positivity. There is always the positivity in the negative way. You know, it has been said that the stopped clock gives the correct time to 2 times in a day. It means that there is always positivity in the life. So if you are living in a very negative area, or living in, if there are so many negative vibes around you, so try to find positivity in it and be enthusiastic and try to make yourself increase your morale, makes yourself more strong. Anticipate something good, and suggestions are very much important in the bad news. Let me give you an example. Suppose you applied for the post of lecturer in LUMS or in My Times Institute, and but you would not be selected because of lack of experience. And if I am the HR manager or some hiring authority, I would call you rather than sending you a letter, or maybe if I am sending you a letter, my opening sentences will be that, yes, Mr. XYZ, you are very competent, you have an energy, you are a live wire, and we were searching for the person like you, but unfortunately you lost this time, but definitely next year you will be our first choice. I hope that next time you will come up with an experience, with the minor experience, or with the competency as well, as you did not get through the interview. And hope, and this is my number, you may call for the further instructions, or you may call for the further references as well. Your CV has been kept in one side, so that we may approach you next year, or when there will be any vacancy available, we will approach you. This is the positive way of giving the bad news, rather than saying you are incompetent, you have no ability, no need to come here, get lost. This is not the way of giving a bad news. Either if you are not hiring a person, give him the suggestions like what is the weaknesses of you, so work on that, or you may anticipate some good thing, and in a very positive way you give them the suggestions. So this is the way of writing the regret letter. The letter chalk out plan has been written here. Your assignments regarding writing the invitation and regret letter will be provided in your Google Classroom. So do approach there, and we will see you with the next topic. Take care. Allah Hafiz.